Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. So as you saw by the title of this video, we're going to be doing a full install of a lace closure quick weave. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah guys, so like I said, we're going to be doing a full lace closure install as a quick weave. And not only is this a lace quick weave, but this is also blonde. So for me guys, I have a theory when it comes to wigs, is if you can lay a blonde wig on brown and dark skin, you can do anything. So when it comes to brown and dark skin, blonde is the lightest hair on the chart. So what that means is no room for error. Meaning, let's say Taylor Swift just started wearing wigs and she took a synthetic wig straight out of pack. And then you have Lupita Nyong'o, if she took a blonde wig straight out the pack. That blonde wig is going to be way more noticeable on Lupita's dark skin than Taylor Swift. Meaning Taylor Swift not knowing how to customize a wig, she's going to be able to get away with just pulling that straight out the pack. Whereas with Lupita, it's going to have to be customized to a T to make it look like it's coming out of her scalp. Meaning there's no room for error. So I don't know what even made me buy blonde or start off with blonde, but here we are. And for me, like I said, with my theory, if you can melt a blonde wig, then the sky is the limit from there. If you can do blonde, then you can do anything. So for this video, everything that I'm doing is a first demo, meaning everything that I'm doing for the first time from start to finish. I started buying wigs about 2020, so I've only been in the wig game, a few years. So for me, the way I do dark wigs is that I just sleek my regular hair back and I pull the wig down. I tint the lace with the makeup and then I go from there. I do not do the full wig cap method for dark wigs. In my opinion, it's not needed, it's not necessary, and my theory has never failed me. When I do dark hair wigs, I pull my hair back and I keep it moving and the wig looks flawless to where you wouldn't know the difference. So for blonde, like I said, blonde, there is no room for error. So for this install, this is my first time. We're going to be doing a start to finish, the ball cap method of doing a lace install. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get into the steps. So step one, you need to braid your hair. I did go on YouTube just to find some videos of how people were doing the lace closures. So in this situation, I just parted my hair down the middle and then I braided the braids down the side of the head in that method. The next step is optional. So guys, this next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take plastic saran wrap and I'm going to put this down before I pull the wig cap onto my head. So this technique is something I started doing probably about 10 plus years ago, and this is to protect your hair from quick weave. Now when it comes to a professional hairstylist, this is not what they do or what they use. They use hair wraps, which you can get from your hair store, or they use the liquid scalp protector, which protects from the hair. So if you go with any professional like person that does wigs, you will not see them do plastic under the hair, but this is what I do for quick weaves. So guys, for this video, I did not actually have plastic clear saran wrap, so I used a grocery store bag. Yes guys, I know it's giving Ratchet 2.0. Guys, at the end of this video, I am going to do an official wrap up to break down the end results of everything. So just rock with me, just roll with me. I promise we're going to get through this. But this step is optional. If you're watching this video and you are amateur or a beginner, this is optional as far as this protective method, especially using the plastic wrap method. Next step is you're going to pull your wig cap down onto your head and then you're going to adhere it. So with this step, you pull the wig cap down low onto your forehead. You cut holes in the side to loop your ears through, and then you take your adhesive spray and then you spray and then you blow dry. So for this, I'm using the even spray in the black can. So guys, this spray is really strong on the scale. You have the Got to Be, which is a popular well-known spray. That the Got to Be is considered on the scale, I will put that as a light hold. So for this, you want to make sure that this is really adhered to your scalp. For this guys, I did about 3 rounds. I sprayed the spray, blow dried, sprayed, blow dried, sprayed, blow dried. So you want to blow dry this down so that it's locked on your forehead. Like I said, there's no room for error. You do not want this cap to lift. This is the whole foundation of the install of the wig. You need this to be locked and loaded. Okay, so once you've blow dried that last round, you've let it dry down. Now this is the next step. You're going to take your fingernails, you're going to cut off the excess cap. So you're going to go and you're going to start cutting, and pretty much you're going to lift and cut. So when you do this method of the adhesive, you're purposely overspraying the cap, meaning the cap is coming all the way down to your forehead. So obviously when it comes to this method, you don't need all that excess. So as a secondary step, you're going to have to go through and peel off the excess cap and cut it off. So that's with this step right here, take your time. You're just going to peel, cut, peel, cut. You want the cap to equally align up to where your natural hairline essentially is hitting. So you're just gonna have to take your time, peel it back until you get it as perfect as you possibly can. Okay guys, so the next step, once you've got everything lined up and you've peeled and completely cut all the excess, now you're going to come in with another layer of that adhesive spray. You're just going to take your fingers and just swipe down, and you're just pretty much just rubbing down any cap that lifted up. Like I said, in this situation we did have to lift and cut, so we did kind of manipulate what was obviously originally sprayed down to the forehead. So we just want to reinforce that back with the hairspray. We don't want anything to lift up or be lifted as far as the edges. So guys, the next step is to go ahead and start gluing your tracks. So guys, when you get to the top of your head, what you're going to do is you're going to apply your closure, and then you're going to leave about an inch and a half of space from the rest of the tracks that you have to glue. And the reason why you're leaving this excess space is you want to make sure that your closure is lined up completely in the middle. So you leaving that extra space is giving you the leeway to maneuver and move it in place. Meaning if you glued every track up to the last track, meaning you're not going to have any wiggle room to move the closure around. So in this situation, you leave excess space, lay your closure, and then after you've laid your closure, you come in and fill in the leftover tracks that you need to finish off the quick weave. So guys, for this tutorial, you see I have white glue. I did not use white glue, but only on the closure. The white glue was not good quality, so I literally used black glue all the way up into the tracks. The only part I applied white glue was on the closure. Thank God I was able to squeeze it out and make it work for that, because it did not do what it needed to do. So yeah guys, you're just going to take that white glue all the way around that horseshoe shape, and you're going to leave it. You're going to leave that front empty. So where the actual lace is, you're going to leave that empty, because obviously we're going to melt the lace onto our forehead like we would do a full wig. So you're just going to have to guesstimate it. There's no really right or wrong amount. You're just going to have to eyeball it and see to make sure you don't apply the glue in a full 360 situation. Okay, so once you have the closure glued down, now you're going to go ahead and, like I said, fill in the rest of those tracks at the top. Then we're going to go ahead and melt the lace officially into our forehead. So I'm using that same black hairspray. Whatever your go-to is for melting lace, obviously you use that. I'm using the same black spray. I'm going to take the elastic band, tie it down, and then just go chill out. So for me guys, I did have to charge my phone. I am recording on my phone, so my phone was completely dead. So by the time you see me come back on camera, it was an hour that I let that melt onto my forehead. So you don't have to do that long. So yeah, after you let the elastic band sit on there, you're going to take it off. And now if you need to reinforce it some more, you can. For me, when I came back on camera, I didn't need to, just because of the amount of time I guess I let it sit on there. So now you're going to cut that excess lace off. So yeah guys, you're just going to cut that excess off, and then that is pretty much it for the full install. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get into an official wrap up. Let me tell you the end results of everything. So guys, for this, you can see the cap that I use. I use a dark brown cap, and then I obviously use a gray plastic bag. So guys, like I said, I didn't have any clear saran wrap. The next time, in real time, I will not use a gray plastic bag. Guys, the end result is that everything worked out. Even though I had these different colorations going on, all I did was I put that lace closure down. I did not add any kind of makeup or product to my lace closure. The only thing I added was I went through, I created my part, and I added the makeup on top. So as far as the coloration, as far as everything, as far as that scalp and everything underneath, for me, it worked out. Also, another thing I want to point out is I showed you in the video, my tracks were gappy. When it comes to blonde, like I was telling you everything before, you do not have room for error. So the way I laid my tracks, I ended up overstuffing the tracks in the back half of my head when I should have did that towards the top half. So once I get towards the top half, it gets sketchy and it is noticeable. With the blonde hair, it's way more noticeable than you using dark tracks. Like I said, that is the difference between, you know, blonde and darker hair. So I am going to do a follow-up video for this to show you how to properly lay blonde tracks, because it makes a difference. The end result, like I said, you look at the back of my head, if I actually went out like that, you will see the gappiness in real time. So the placement of the tracks make a difference. Also, like I said, guys, I used a dark brown cap. Before I started recording, I was definitely nervous, but I had already bought everything and intended to do this video, so I did. That cap was a dark brown. Typically, the way you'll see brown and dark-skinned girls do wigs is they'll buy a beige wig and then they'll tint it down with their own makeup. So for me, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to skip that step and buy a brown tone cap. So the tone of that cap was really like a chocolate coffee tone cap. It was a little bit warmer than what I intended. So I was nervous. Before I started recording, I was nervous about how it was going to work out, for the sake that I'm doing a blonde wig and I want everything to match up. So guys, for me, for this being my first time doing this, it's given 4+4. This turned out pretty damn good for this being a first time install, a first demonstration of me doing a full cap lace closure quick weave. And the fact that I use blonde hair, this came out damn good. Like I was really surprised and shocked at the end results. Like I said, the only thing I did was I added makeup to the top of the scalp. I did not tint the bottom of that lace, meaning I did not flip it inside out. Everything as far as the coloration, everything worked out. Like I said, even with the plastic bag, the brown cap, everything worked out. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Leave a comment down below, your thoughts, all that stuff, any questions, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you next time.